There's a version of you that money is already tuned to. Same body, same name, completely different signal. And the reason it hasn't arrived isn't your effort. It's that you've been broadcasting something else without knowing it. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you 6 signs you're running a scarcity frequency underneath everything you do. Most people can't spot even one because they don't look like scarcity. They look like being careful. They look like being realistic. Number 4 is the one almost nobody catches in themselves. Then I'll show you the mechanism underneath all 6 and how it actually changes. Here's what to hold on to while we go. Your circumstances have been faithfully matching a frequency you never consciously chose. Not punishing you, not testing you, just matching you. Let's find out what you've been broadcasting. Sign 1. You feel a flicker of dread when money actually arrives. The payment clears. The client says yes. And for half a second before the relief, there's a tightening. Watch what happens next, because this is the tell. The money lands, and within the hour, you've mentally assigned all of it. This goes here, that covers that. This one's already spent. You didn't sit with it for even a day. You dispersed it, because holding it felt worse than not having it. Most people never notice because it passes so fast and it looks like being responsible. But something in you has learned that having is dangerous, that money brings attention or obligation or the possibility of losing it. So arrival triggers threat, not celebration. And you resolve the threat by emptying your hands as fast as possible. You cannot hold a frequency of abundance while your nervous system reads abundance as a threat. Sign 2. You brace when good news comes. Something goes right, and immediately you're scanning for what's about to go wrong. Here's what it looks like in practice. You get the offer, and instead of celebrating, you start listing everything that could still fall through. You tell almost no one. You keep the good news small and quiet, because announcing it feels like inviting something to take it away. You've called this being level-headed. It isn't. It's a nervous system that learned good things are the setup for bad things, usually because at some point they were. And here's the cost. Bracing is a state, and states are what reality reads. You're spending your good news in advance, paying interest on a loss that hasn't happened. Sign 3. Other people's wins sting. Someone you know gets the thing. You send the message, genuinely happy for you, and underneath it, a small drop in the chest. Then the mind starts working. Well, they had help. Well, their situation is different. Well, that's not really the same as what I'm doing. That's not analysis. That's a nervous system trying to make someone else's win not count. Because if it counts, it means it was available. And if it was available, then what does that say about you? Wallace Wattles named this over a century ago in The Science of Getting Rich, and the framing has never been improved on. He described 2 mental postures, the competitive mind and the creative mind. The competitive mind believes there is a fixed pie, and every slice someone takes is a slice gone. The creative mind knows it can bring something new into existence, that it originates rather than competes. Feel the difference in your own body right now. The clenched, someone's taking it from me frequency, and the open, there is more where that came from frequency. If someone else's win registers as your loss, you are living inside the first one, and the first one is scarcity wearing ambition's clothes. If you recognized yourself in even one of those 3, stay with me, because the next 3 are the ones that actually run your finances. And then I'll show you the mechanism underneath all 6. And subscribe before we go on, not as a favor, as a marker, so that when this shifts, you'll know where it started. Sign 4. You over-explain what you charge. This is the one almost nobody catches. Here's the scene. Someone asks your rate, you say the number, and then you keep talking. But that includes revisions, and I can be flexible. And if that's too much, we could scale it back. Nobody pushed back. Nobody even paused. You negotiated against yourself in the silence because the silence felt like judgment. Or you skip it entirely and quote low from the start, so the conversation never has to happen at all. Then you resent the work for months. That over-explaining is your identity leaking out. Somewhere underneath, a part of you doesn't believe you're worth the number, and it rushes in to soften the ask before anyone can challenge it. And here's what makes it expensive. The person across from you feels it. Not the words, the frequency underneath them. People do not haggle with someone who is settled in their number. They haggle with someone who is already apologizing for it. Sign 5. You check obsessively but avoid planning. You look at your balance 5 times a day, but you haven't looked at the actual numbers, the real picture, the honest plan in months. The distinction matters. Checking is a glance. How bad is it right now? Planning is a sit-down. What is actually true, and what would have to change? One takes 4 seconds and gives a hit of temporary relief. The other takes 2 hours and requires facing the whole thing at once. So you check, constantly, and you tell yourself you're on top of your finances, when in reality, you're monitoring a wound rather than treating it. Scarcity keeps you staring at the problem. Abundance lets you look at the design. Sign 6. You sabotage right at the threshold. Money starts moving, an opportunity appears, and right at the edge, you go quiet. You know this scene. The email that needed 1 reply sat for 9 days. The call you'd been chasing for a year and you rescheduled it. The project going well right up until you found something wrong with it and burned it down. You got sick the week it mattered. Everyone calls this fear. It isn't quite. It's a part of you seizing the controls, one that learned a long time ago that wanting too much or having too much was dangerous, and that has protected you ever since the only way it knows how, by keeping you small. Carl Jung gave us the word for what's needed. He called it individuation, the work of bringing the disowned parts of the psyche into conscious relationship rather than exiling them. Jung understood that what we refuse to make conscious runs our lives from the dark, and we call it fate. That frightened part doesn't disappear when you push past it. It waits, and it reaches up at the worst possible moment. So what is actually happening? Because if I just tell you to raise your vibration, I've handed you a bumper sticker, not a tool. Here it is. At every moment, reality offers more information than you can consciously process. Your senses take in millions of bits a second. Awareness registers a sliver, which means the most important thing your mind does constantly is filter. Decide what's relevant. Decide what you get to see. And what sets the filter? Your state. You felt this. You decide to buy a certain car, and suddenly that car is everywhere. The cars didn't multiply. Your filter changed. Now scale it up. That same filter decides which opportunities you notice, which conversations you lean into, which risks feel available and which feel insane. Picture 2 people walking into the same room. Same gathering, same people, same possibilities sitting in it. The first is broadcasting scarcity. Their filter scans for threat. Who's judging me? Who's more successful? Where's the exit? Their attention narrows. Their body subtly contracts. And here's the part that matters. The room feels it. Because one nervous system reads another in milliseconds, long before a word is spoken. So the room meets them guarded, because they arrived guarded. They leave saying nothing ever comes of these things. And they're right. Nothing did. Their frequency saw to it before they finished the first handshake. The second walks into that same room broadcasting abundance. Their filter isn't scanning for threat. It's open and curious. It surfaces the one person worth talking to. It catches the offhand comment that turns out to be an opportunity. Their body is at ease, so the room eases toward them. So people open, so the conversation goes somewhere. They leave saying something always comes out of these rooms. Also right. Same room, same night. 2 completely different realities, authored entirely by the frequency each one carried through the door. Nothing supernatural happened. A filter decided what was visible, and a nervous system broadcast a signal that other nervous systems answered. That mechanism has been running 1,000 times a day in every room you've ever entered. The only question is whether it's been running on a frequency you chose or one you inherited and never examined. Pause here and do something with me. In the comments, name the one sign you recognized. Just the number and one line about where it shows up. Number 4, I over-explain my prices. Number 6, I go quiet right when it starts working. Do it, because naming a pattern is what pulls it out of the dark. And when you see how many other people posted the same number, you'll understand this was never a personal defect. It's a frequency. And frequencies can change. Neville Goddard taught something he called living in the end, and it remains the most practical instruction ever given for this. Most people live from the absence of what they want. They want money, so they marinate in not having it. They rehearse the shortfall, run the worst case, feel the lack in their body 100 times a day. And reality matches them perfectly. It returns exactly the frequency being broadcast. Living in the end reverses it. Don't wait for the thing in order to feel the feeling. Occupy the internal state of the version of you who already has it. Now, today, before a single piece of outside evidence justifies it. Not visualization as a picture you watch from outside. Occupancy, stepping inside and feeling the world from behind their eyes. What does your body feel like when money is simply not a source of fear? How do your shoulders sit when security is a settled fact rather than a hope? How do you breathe when you know, not believe, know that you're the kind of person things work out for? That state is the frequency. Wattles pointed at the same thing through gratitude, and it's worth understanding why gratitude works rather than treating it as a nice ritual. Gratitude is the emotional signature of already having. You cannot feel genuine gratitude for something and simultaneously feel its absence. The two states can't share a nervous system, which means gratitude isn't a technique for getting, it's the fastest available route into the frequency of having. Now, here's why this usually fails, and this is the part people skip. They tune to abundance for 10 inspired minutes in the morning. Then the old identity takes the dial back for the remaining 23 hours and 50 minutes, quietly retuning to lack all day long, in the traffic, in the inbox, in the moment they check the balance. And reality matches the frequency you hold most, not the one you visit briefly. Dr. Joe Dispenza calls the thing you're up against the habit of being yourself, the way we wake and reinstall yesterday's identity out of pure momentum before we've even decided anything. Closing that leak isn't a morning ritual layered on an unchanged life. It's catching yourself drifting back 100 times a day and gently, without self-attack, returning again and again until the new frequency stops being a place you visit and becomes the place you live. And one honest boundary, because I won't sell you a fantasy. Occupying this state does not replace showing up in your life. It changes how you show up. From this frequency, you take cleaner, bolder, less fear-soaked action, and you take it consistently because it's flowing out of identity instead of being forced against resistance. Anyone telling you to sit still and vibrate is selling you an escape. This hands you an identity. What flows out of it is a life. 3 movements, about 10 minutes a day. Morning, set the station. Before your phone, before the world hands you its frequency, choose yours. Close your eyes and step into the version of you money is tuned to. Not the picture, the feeling, the settledness, the ease in the chest, the absence of that low background hum of not enough. Stay until your body actually shifts. You'll feel it, a kind of loosening. Then anchor it with one breath of gratitude, as though it's already done. Midday, 3 checks. 3 times, 30 seconds each, check the station. What am I broadcasting right now? If you've drifted back, and you will, that's not failure, that's being human. Return. 1 breath, reoccupy. This is where the leak actually closes, not in the morning ritual, but in the 100 small returns across the day. Evening, meet the guard. Turn toward whichever frightened part surfaced today. The one that panicked about the balance, that over-explained the price, that went quiet on the opportunity. Don't scold it, thank it for trying to protect you, and let it know that it's safe now, that you're here, that you're not the person that danger happened to. Night after night, this is how the Parliament comes into peace. Give it 30 days, not because 30 is magic, but because that's roughly how long a rehearsed frequency takes to stop being a visit and start being a home. 6 signs: the flicker of dread, the bracing, the sting, the over-explaining, the compulsive checking, the sabotage at the threshold. None of them are character flaws. Every one is a frequency you learned, usually young, usually from people who loved you and were frightened, who taught you what they'd been taught about what was safe to want. And a learned frequency can be unlearned. The version of you that money is tuned to was never somewhere in the future at the end of a long climb. That version is one frequency away, not earned, occupied. So stop waiting for reality to change before you'll change who you're being. Run it in the other order. Let the life catch up, because that's the only thing it knows how to do. If this is your frequency now, subscribe and turn on the bell. This channel is for the moment life stops making sense, and each piece is built to hold the next. You won't be chasing it anymore. You'll be broadcasting from it.